Well, first of all, make sure you have a Kanban system. In other words, there is a method that limits the pieces of work, items in progress. Then build that visualization board. And what I suggest and recommend with pretty much every one of our clients is start with a physical board. Why? Because the physical board allows you to use all your creativity to say, what is it we need from this system to send us the messages that are appropriate for us that we can act on and improve the system. Now, of course, the physical board will not give you the statistics so that you can look at historic and improve, get your statistical measures and then improve your system. But always start there. And ideally, have both a physical board and a digital version of it. So what are the things that you may need and how you visualize? Well, we may need to visualize who are the team members that are working on a piece of work. Well, we may have avatars as magnets or what have you, and we stick it on the car. So it shows how many people are working on it. Whether it's 1, 2, swarming, whether ideally you're pairing, or you may need more than 2 people to work on it. You just show that. It may be that this work item is stuck, is blocked. So you annotate it. Could be a red sticker or something, and you write down why you blocked, what is stopping you. And then that doesn't mean you wash your hands off it. That means you work on removing that blocker. And while we're on that, you don't discard those tickets after the block is gone. You keep them because you can. Typically what happens is that you haven't addressed the root cause. You've done just enough to make this piece of work to flow, but you need to look at those later on and then see how you address the root causes. So don't discard those blocker tickets. You may have different types of work, and you may want to show them as different swim lanes to say this type of work has got this swim lane, this type of work has got that swim lane. And that allows you to see A, the blend of work, B, be more strategic. In other words, allocate capacity rather than just react to it. So you may wish to limit the number of support items you work on and say, okay, you got a lane, a swim lane for support activity, and you got another swim lane for creating new features. So you may want to say, okay, well, support activities, we want to limit it to 5% of our capacity or 10% of our capacity. That means some support requests that come in will wait until you fix the ones that are in flight before you start the new one, the next ones. Now, that might be too naive or too crude. You might say, well, we have some priority 1 intros or support requests that come in that we need to address. So you may have a priority 1 and then the others and then the features. And again, you decide how much capacity you want to allocate to that. You might say priority 1s, when they come in, we jump on it and we get it over the line, but we only want 1 of those. That's fine. You can do that. When you have policies like this, what you're basically saying is that we are going to treat different types of work differently. The cost of this is that if you are diverting capacity, let's say you're working on new features and you divert capacity, in other words, some people who are working on new features go and jump on that priority 1. The priority 1 ticket will get done quicker, but that has an impact on your statistical measures, because now, some of your features will take a bit longer, but that will come out in the wash. And again, all of that is what you do consciously. You understand the implications of the decisions that you make. If you like, you're tuning some dials within your system, and you try it one way and you realize that may be too high, that may be too low, but you understand the impact of your capacity allocation decisions, and you can see the amount of work in progress of different types of work in different swim lanes. There are various other techniques that people have used. You have, on a physical board, you can turn the card on a different orientation. So it's usually horizontal, and you turn it sideways. That might signal it's an important thing. Let's say you may use that for any work that is date driven, and you've got a date at the top. So when I turn it to 90 degrees, right at the top, I've got the due date on it. So that focuses the mind to say some things are date driven and the date is written at the top. So we go to that straight away. So as I said before, once you start with a physical board, your creativity is limitless. You will use your creativity to find a way to visualize the work that adds value, not just because it looks nice. And then once you've done that, you need to find a way to transfer that into a digital system. Now, why not start with a digital system? Because that might provide an unnecessary constraint for you. And also you got to jump through two barriers. One's understanding. The first one is to understand what is a Kanban system, how does it help you, and what is the best way for you to visualize your work, followed by, okay, how do I do that in this system of choice, whatever system you have in place, the digital tool, in here. So go physical, then digital, then run both, because the physical system is, as we call it, is an information radiator. You look up, it gives you the information that you need. Your digital system, it's like an information fridge. You got to open it up to have a look inside and see what's going on. So that is what I would suggest.